Ladies and gentlemen, Software Incorporated. It is a game in development by Core Dumping. It is currently in alpha version 4.7 and it's available on Steam for $11. If you're into the sort of business simulation strategy games similar to like Game Dev Tycoon, you'd probably like this game because it's basically Game Dev Tycoon but with less focus on the game and more focus on the everything else. Managing your people, building the offices from scratch, maintaining things like quality equipment, temperature, noise levels, stuff like that. Making sure people are in a happy mood, balancing the whole, pensions, insurance, and making sure your team's balanced. And it's incredibly deep. It's very well done though for what it is. Don't be too put off by the graphics of this game. It just looks like this because we're so far zoomed in. But it's not like a super gloriously pretty game. It's like alpha standard quality. It's not amazing, but don't worry, it looks better than this. Company name, I went with Jormungandr Games for Game Dev Tycoon, but I forgot how to do the umlaut O, so I think I'm just going to be a bit lazy and just go with Yeti Inc. Maybe, possibly, probably. The name originally is Agony Mouse, but when I first read it, I thought it was Agony Mouse, and I thought that was a pretty cool name, so I'm going to go with that. Agony Mouse. Sounds pretty sweet. You could be male or female, doesn't really matter. The styles of clothing are pretty limited. You're either bald or balding. You are any color that you want for anything. It's, whatever you want. I'm just going to go with something a bit preset basic here, though. Shorts, let's actually go with proper pants and something that stands out a bit. There you go, nice bright green. And then shirt, let's actually go with a vest. You can be short sleeve, long sleeve, or with a vest. So our shirt will go for just a sort of a gray shirt with a nice brightish gray jacket, maybe something, I guess, maybe like a brown there, I guess a light brown jacket, maybe. Personality early on doesn't do too much. You don't want to choose something that's like too completely messed up because personality conflicts in the workspace is definitely a thing in this game. If you have a bunch of people who are like extroverts and then you have one dude who's an introvert, that introvert isn't going to be working very effectively because they don't get along with their workers. You need to be working together as a team. That's a very big part of this game. So having a decent personality is pretty important. So generous, optimistic, let's go for, and I'm not saying that you can't be mean. It just means you're going to have to hire a bunch of other mean people. So you can just be mean to each other and get along in some sort of weird sadistic type relationship. I'm going to be an introvert, extrovert. I can't. Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I could actually. You know what? Let's be goofy. We'll be goofy and dramatic. I said not to choose too wild of a combination, but I don't know. I kind of want to try it just to see. It doesn't really matter outside of just being text and affecting relationships, but that's okay. As far as skills go, the only 3 skills you should really care about early on is programming, designing, and art, because leadership is a very much kind of a later game thing. It doesn't really take much into account until you get like a large crew of dudes. And then marketing is something that's after you're doing like your own operating systems and audio software and stuff like that. You want to market it and get it out there in the world, but early on doesn't really matter. And we have the potential to be a really good worker. So I feel like wasting the points in leadership or marketing and not taking advantage of the fact that we could be like a god at programming. I just feel it's not worth it. I could just pick up a person who does marketing later on. I could just hire one or train somebody for it. I could train myself for it, send myself off to get education, and it doesn't really matter. But early on, I'm going to be doing a bunch of contracts because it's a quick, easy way to make a bunch of money, and the contracts require a bunch of these type of things. I'm actually going to drop art a bit just to see if I can max out with programming and design, basically. There we go. I think that's about as good as we can get it there. And as far as specializations go, I think just a straight up all around audio. No, 2D design, system coding, and audio art. I think that's like the most well-rounded basic thing that you can possibly be. Though I could just say 2D art. I don't, yeah, that should be graphics, really. We can do that. We'll be a bit lacking in art, but I'll have to pick up a sort of an artist later on. That's fine. The first person I pick up can be an artist. No worries. Scenarios. There are no scenarios in the game yet. There are, I don't think there's any mods either. At least if there are, I don't think the Steam like workshop thing has them. I don't know. I'm actually gonna need to double check that. I'll get back to you on that one. But outside of that, it's just how much money you want to start with. You can start as low as 5,000 or with 500,000, which to me is an insane amount. I don't even know how I would spend that this early on in the game. So we'll just rock the default 10,000. We'll rock the default year of 1980. This does affect technology that's available. Certain work speed improvements, larger servers, stuff like that are unlocked at the later years. We'll go 1980 though, just to get the sort of, you know, full experience. Goals, nothing. Simulation enabled. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Difficulty, I'm going to go easy because it's really easy to make one bad decision and it just causes you to just crash and burn. Pretty easy. Maybe it's just me being bad. I'm not sure. Maybe both. And days per month, just leaving that as default. The game does months oddly. Obviously, one game day will be a month, and that matters for contracts and stuff like that. But anything more than one day means that the contracts are wicked easy to do. It's just a bit imbalanced. So I'm just going to leave it as the default one day. And without further ado, we're going to get going on this. Pause it. Now you can see there it was simulating the market. And that is all about this stuff down here. There is a sort of a newspaper with sections in it. Right now there's absolutely nothing because the game just started. But there is some stuff that was pre-done. Like there are already companies out there. And there they are. Some of them already have products. You can see the founded year here. The first company that was made was Shadowware Reality. They have $14 million in wealth. They're not very reputable though. Sort of fallen on hard times, perhaps. Their stocks. Oh, yeah. People are investing in them. I don't know. Here's their overall chart. I don't know. They're just not much reputation. Maybe they haven't done anything in a while. People are forgetting about them. Yeah, just 2 products. Yeah, that's probably why. They made the first operating system in 1970, and then 6 years later, they made another operating system. And they were both kind of bad. And they're obscure now. Yeah, so that's what it is. They just haven't done much. Whereas the most reputable company is Beta Studios, who were founded in 1973. They have 5 products. There's their chart. Sort of a nice wavy thing going on there. And their products is, it looks like the first thing they did. This doesn't really matter much right now. I'm just simply curious. I love that it does this, though. Looks like the first thing that they did was a visual tool, and it used Lionshade X. They didn't make their own operating system. They decided to buy a license for a pre-existing one and make this software, which was around for a pretty short amount of time. Fell off very quickly. But people did build off of it. But yeah, I like looking at stuff like that. You can also just see all software that's been made. You know, all the operating systems that were made. There we go. Game engines, audio tools, stuff like that. Some of the finest stuff there. The highest profit stuff here. Oh, some of it's negative. Source Run 4D, a game engine that was made in 1974. It was bad. It's obscure now. Total net profit, negative. They lost money on the entire thing. Whereas the best thing was Lionshade X, the first operating system, and then Sloth OS by ThrowSlam. ThrowSlam, what a cool name, ThrowSlam. Nice. Yeah, it's obscure now, but man, that made a lot of money. Okay, well, enough of that. I get easily sucked into stuff like that. Now you'll notice the map is pretty huge. We can build anywhere we want on this. We can build the entire thing. And there's, I think, 9 floors. You can't really see, but I'm going up and down floors here. think there's 9 floors and then a 10th basement. So it's pretty big. But to start with, oops, wrong button. Start with, this is it. Just this little tiny section of this massive map. Clicking and dragging on the signs though, you purchase more land, so it's pretty easy. And for the time being, we don't really need much more than this. Look, sounds. Oh, it's like the first sound you hear in this game because there's no like interface button noises or anything. Game's very much alpha. To start off with, I think we're just going to take advantage of the fact that us being the founder, we don't care about anything like lighting or temperature or really quality of anything. So we can just put ourselves in this teeny tiny room like this, just standard door. One of the most basic tables with a crappy chair and the most basic computer available. Actually, the only computer available. Things unlock over time. The next computer unlocks in 1990 and then the hollow computer in 2020. Ooh. But that's it. That's all. Ordinarily, you need to worry about ventilation, radiators. You need to worry about the general appearance of the room. You need to make sure it's not too loud, all sorts of stuff like that. But our guy being the founder, he can't just say fuck it and quit. So, you know, we'll just take advantage of the fact and leave it as such. Skip ahead to the next day real quick there. Love that button. It's just like at the end of the day when the shift's done, everybody goes home and all that, you can just press that button and it just automatically skips you to 7 o'clock in the morning and puts you back in whatever time speed you previously had. Really nice. But because we're carpooling, because we don't actually have like proper parking or anything like that, it takes us so long to get here and so long to get home that we actually like lose out on a couple hours of our shift. But there we are, sitting in our little dark area there, just chilling out without anything to do because I haven't really told him to do anything. The first stuff that you're probably going to do is contract work. You could take advantage of the fact that he doesn't have any requirements, meaning our expenses are barely anything. Ignoring construction because I built the room. $16 in bills. That's it. Apparently we have $1 in miscellaneous of interest off of goodness knows what because I haven't done any insurance policies. Oh, looks like we start with some in there. Oh, okay. Looks like we start with 200. We'll throw 2,000 in there. Why not? Helps out for the insurances for people like attracting people to your place and keeping them happy. Stuff like that. But since expenses are so low, we could just go straight ahead into developing a software and operating system and just soloing it. It would take us like a few years in game. And it probably wouldn't make much money because there's no marketing. And it took us so long to do it, it'd be a bit outdated, but you could do it. And then just off that operating system, just build like, I don't know, a visual tool that is on your operating system to get people to buy not only the operating system, but also that tool. You could try that. I did that once and it didn't work out very well. It was like 4 years later and I was just starting to make a little bit of money. So I may as well have just been doing contracts the entire time, which is the more sensible thing to do early on. The most easy way to make money. Certain contracts have certain lengths, certain income, certain requirements. Like this guy here, it's just a simple little clock thing, requires no art skill at all whatsoever. So it's perfect for us because if you remember, we didn't really do much in art at all. If we check us out, there's art. It's about 50%, audio art being the absolute worst because, oh, we chose, I think, what did we choose for audio? Looks like probably design. I don't know. I don't remember. But art, not really our forte, so we try to avoid things that require much artists. There is also required quality. That's another thing to look at. Like this guy, mediocre, requires very little art. Oh, even better. 19,000, 3 months to do it. Mediocre quality requires almost no art. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Costs $49 per bug, so I do want to kind of finish it up the best I can. Yeah, we'll accept that. The required quality here is this line that forms here. Certain things, if it requires like great quality, the line will be way over here and it'll take a lot longer to do. It's just the overall time it takes, really. Having somebody who's really good at art, I think allows you to get to that point faster. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll just speed up time here as we work on it. We do have to manually progress it through the stages here. It gets to 100%. We have to hit develop. You can eventually hire somebody and train them. you know, you send them off to get education, and they could become the person who basically takes control of this for you. They sort of micromanage and put certain people on certain projects, and because you can have multiple contracts going on at once, they sort of delegate for you and handle the button clicking yourself so you can focus elsewhere, which is really nice for like large scale things, because they could just accept like 8 contracts when you have this like giant skyscraper of a building. Just accept a ton of contracts, and you know, your leadership dudes will take care of everything. End of the shift at about 4 p.m. Again, though, we have to carpool, so we end up just walking out there and standing out there for a very long time when we could have been working. But I'll actually show you why I don't have a garage or anything like that. It is actually insane how large it is. I think I could just go straight with the horizontal parking lot off of the main road, but that's the size. That is the minimum size. There is no way we'll be doing that. It only costs $500, but to expand this, I think would cost us a few thousand. I'd check, but there's no way to cancel the click and drag. So, not worth it for now. Obviously, our guy's not here to be working on the project, so this is just kind of halted for now. We still have 2 months left, which is basically the end of today, tomorrow, and then it is due at the end of that 3rd day. So we actually have 3 days to do it. There you go, and done. The final stage being just after alpha, you go into I think it's a break period, like a waiting period. I don't really know what it's for. And then you jump into beta, which is fixing the bugs, which usually there's not many of if you did a good job. Skipping like the alpha stage will result in a ton of bugs, so then you spend longer the beta stage. And then if you remember, it was like minus $40 some per bug. So you'll get some larger projects that have a couple hundred bugs. So if you end up just skipping beta stage altogether and just force it out there because deadline, you'll end up losing a lot of money because it's you know, so buggy. But anyway, we'll do another contract because that was actually quite nice. We did that pretty easily. As long as there's not much art involved, we can handle it. Ooh, recommended team size here, 2 people, meaning we're probably not going to be able to do it solo. Although we are really good. Our guy is very skillful. He could maybe do it because he is basically a prodigy. Yeah, 9% art, required quality good, 4 months to do it. We'll try it. We did the last one with plenty of time to spare. 22,000 res. This guy's, it requires a little more art though. We'll try it. The price per effort ratio is not that great, but oh well. We'll see it. We're trying to solo a 2-man job here. God, look at us just furiously typing away. God, we're so good. And what was our 2D skills? Oh yeah, pretty good as long as it's not art. Whoa, 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 okay. Missed it. Could have gone into alpha a little earlier. Oh well. I think after this contract, if it goes well, I'll be able to expand and pick up another person, and then I'll have a buddy to do contracts with, and we'll do some of the nicer ones and make a bunch of money, and then spread once more, and then we can probably from there start making our own stuff. There we go. Let's actually see if I can polish off just a real quick contract here. Embedded system. There we go. Required quality good. Good. All right. All right, fine. They're all good. We can still, you know, put together a quick clock, see if we can do it. Oh, no, it's way too late in the day. Ah, well. Oh, fucking A. Check that shit out. I rushed alpha a little bit, but still pulled it off one day. We did that entire thing in like 5 hours. Very nice. All right, so we're sitting on $54,000, which is pretty nice for just one guy. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to expand with the slightly finicky constructing tool.